This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works, understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.
Upgrade to Lime!
It's Tuesday, January the 20th, 2015, and this is the Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news of unrest brewing within another government department as the National Union of Public Workers prepares to intervene to avert possible upheaval. Coming on the heels of last week's NUPW-led protest march by retrenched National Conservation Commission employees, a dispute seems to be unfolding at the Customs and Excise Department. NUPW's Acting General Secretary Waslin Smith tells Barbados Today that all is not well in the Customs and Excise Department, where some workers in acting positions were being returned to their substantive posts.
We have some rumblings within the Customs and Excise Department. Where persons are having some reversions, you understand, and it relates to the whole thing of the bra. So all is not well within Customs, so I think that would be another focus that you have to be treating.
Meanwhile, Smith disclosed that the union was awaiting word from the Ministry of Finance about when 80 of the roughly 200 former NCC workers will receive their severance. However, she did not expect the process to take long. As for the other workers waiting on the Employment Rights Tribunal to be reconstituted, the NUPW boss said Labour would be confirming its nominees during a high-level meeting of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados on Thursday. Just last week, Minister of Labour Dr. Esther Bayer said she expected the tribunal to be up and running by the start of next month. Former Prime Minister Owen warns that the Caribbean's economies are in dire straits with no immediate solution in sight. Delivering a lecture last night at the Institute of International Relations, St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies, Arthur said the region was at the bottom of the ladder when it came to the key enablers and drivers of growth. He identified these as competitiveness, trade facilitation, connectivity, and IT readiness. Speaking on the topic, Caribbean regionalism in the context of economic challenges, Arthur argued that unless those key issues were fixed, the region could not return to growth.
There's a need for a coherent regional program to move the region from the bottom of the ladder where it now stands in relation to enablers and drivers of growth into the top rungs. It will not cost you money. And to enable the region to build competitive enterprises by embracing global best practices on the factors which affect the functioning of our enterprises. Singapore is the country in the world that has the best conditions for doing business.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
There's been a call for the Jamaica government to stop the Sir David Simmons-led Tivoli Commission of Inquiry. In making the suggestion, Jamaica Labour Party Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie says If the inquiry continues at its current pace, citizens are going to be paying in excess of $500 million for what he describes as a soap opera put on by the ruling People's National Party. McKenzie says the government has so far spent $350 million and he wants the probe put on hold and an investigation launched into the cost. He says to stop it and examine what is taking place because Chairman Barbados Sir David has indicated that it may take longer than the 3 months. Only last week, Radio Jamaica reported that the fee being paid to Sir David exceeds the $50 million budget. In more regional news, Trinidad and Tobago Water and Sewerage Authority has paid out an estimated $500,000 to nearly 20 farmers whose lands it destroyed through a pipeline. In handing over the checks, Minister of the Environment and Water Resources, Ganga Singh, also gave the farmers the go-ahead to resume planting.
Minister of the Environment and Water Resources Ganga Singh explained the process.
There is a process. There is an independent consultant, Dr. Dolly, who has expertise in this area, and then they interview the farmers. There's a methodology, and depending on the crop, they arrive at a figure.
He says the process took about 3 to 4 months to complete, and he's happy to encourage the farmers to once again use their lands for planting.
And I hope that you will continue your farming, and we will do everything to facilitate that, because food security is very important to our country.
But the minister is getting tough on the Chaguanas Borough Corporation, who he says allowed squatters to build along WASA's main pipeline.
You have businesses built on the line. You have a preschool. You have temple. You have churches. You have home. So it is a real danger for the integrity of the water supply with that line.
Minister Singh says that's why WASA had to run an alternative pipeline, interrupting farmers instead.
On the international scene, no evidence has been found that anyone else was involved in the death of prosecutor Alberto Nisman, who had criticized Argentina's president over a 1994 terror attack. Officials say a post-mortem examination found no intervention in his death. Nisman had been investigating the 1994 bombing of a Jewish center in Buenos Aires in which 85 people died. He had accused President Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner of involvement in a plot to cover up Iran's alleged role. The government has dismissed the allegations as ridiculous. The Office of Investigating Prosecutor Vivian Finn said that she was still awaiting the results of other tests in order to be able to rule out any other hypothesis. A delay on fuel imports has led to a fuel crisis in Pakistan. Officials say they only have 3 days' worth of fuel reserves left. CNN's Michelle Stockman reports.
Pakistan is a country running on fumes. A delay in petrol imports has led to a fuel crisis that's lasted almost a week. Now officials say there's only 3 days of reserves left. Long waits at the petrol pump are driving up transport prices, including cab fares. We're losing time in these lines, he says. We have to charge the passengers to make up for our losses. And disrupting daily life.
Other than office, I have to pick my children from school and drop them over there. They are on leave today, and it's the life is crippled down here just because of this fuel shortage.
This station is rationing fuel, allowing roughly a day's worth per customer. The Prime Minister is holding emergency meetings today to work on an action plan. Over the weekend, he purged his government of ministers he holds responsible for the shortage.
And that's our Barbados Today morning news update. We will be back again this afternoon. But until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 Online TV to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works. Understand?
even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.